Born on Valentine's Day of 1987 in Bremerton, Washington, Joseph David Wolfgang Pichler was one of 5 children. When he was just 4 years old, Joseph began his acting career, and a few short years later, his family moved to Los Angeles to try and help him kickstart his career. Joseph went on to feature in a number of commercials before making his debut in the 1996 thriller The Fan, acting alongside Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes. In 1999, at the age of 12, he went on to play one of his most well-known roles in the movie Varsity Blues. The next year, he had a main role in the movies Beethoven's Third and Beethoven's Fourth, a series of family comedy films featuring the antics of a lovable Saint Bernard dog. Joe's career was fast on the rise, and soon enough, he was rubbing shoulders with some of the biggest names around at that time, including fellow child actor Frankie Muniz. Joe would feature in even more films over the next few years, including the 2001 Halloween comedy When Good Girls Go Bad, starring alongside Christopher Lloyd. His final acting role would come in the movie Children on Their Birthdays in 2002. In 2003, Joe's mother Kathy decided that her son needed a break from Hollywood. She feared that he would burn out and wanted him to complete his education, stating, "I just wanted him to have some normalcy in his life." Joe was disheartened by this, but was a good kid, and accepted his mother's wishes. After all, he had full intentions to carry on acting once he had finished school. During his hiatus, Joe returned to his hometown in Washington, where he graduated in 2005. According to his family, Joe had full intentions to move back to Hollywood the following year, once he had his braces removed. At this time, Joe lived on his own in Bremerton, across town from his parents, his younger brother Matthew, and his older sister Samantha. He had taken a part-time job as a telephone technician working at Teletech, but his sights were always on his dreams of acting once more. Tragically, Joe would never get to make his move back to Hollywood. On January the 5th, 2006, 18-year-old Joe had spent the day with friends who stated that he was in good spirits whilst he was with them. However, after parting ways, a call came into one of his friends' mobiles from Joe at around 4:15 a.m. the next morning. This friend later stated that Joe was sobbing and inconsolable. Joe ended the phone call by telling his friend that he would call him back in an hour, but he never did. This would be the last time that anyone would ever hear from Joseph Pichler. 4 days later, Joe's car, a silver 2005 Toyota Corolla, was found abandoned half a mile from Port Washington Narrows, a large body of water. A search of the vehicle turned up a note and poems. In the note, Joe expressed his desire to be a stronger brother for his siblings. He had also stated that he wanted his younger brother Matthew to have some of his belongings. Investigators strongly believed that the note indicated that Joe had plans to take his own life. His family, however, disagreed. His family stated that he was not depressed at the time of his disappearance, and he was looking forward to resuming his Hollywood career. They believe that in the worst-case scenario, foul play occurred, but definitely not suicide. A search of Joe's apartment found that he had left his front door unlocked and his lights on, something which was described as uncharacteristic for him. Joe's mother later stated that someone had broken into his home as some of his most valuable Magic the Gathering collector's cards were missing. Kathy later stated that police had investigated no other avenues, staunching the belief that Joe had taken his own life, with one officer even telling her, "I don't know how to tell you this, but I think your son's dead, and it could take months before he shows up in the water." Despite mass searches for Joe, he has never been found. His wallet and car keys were also missing from the scene where his car was located. It is not clear what became of the former child actor that January night. but Joseph Pichler has now been missing for 18 years and 4 months. If alive today, he would be 37 years old.